Okay. Hello.
Hi. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Yay!
How are you, Ruby?
Woo!
Yeah. Okay.
We're
It works.
here.
Yes. We all here.
You're here. Awesome, yeah.
Hello, Ruby.
Hey, salam alaikum. Lebes. Alhamdulillah.
Ah,
Okay.
Smile.
I don't know you. Salam.
You don't know him, Ismail. It's also one of the members of the association.
Oh, nice to meet you. What's your name?
Right.
Zaid. Oh, okay, Zaid.
Ismail.
Oh, Ismail.
Without E.
Ismail.
Yeah.
Ismail.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
You have to also
We're all here.
Smile.
Okay.
Yeah. Here we are.
Okay. I want to turn the camera around so I can introduce you to the people who are here that are listening. And there's
Okay.
lots of wires.
Okay.
So So-
I hear John. I hear John.
yeah, that's John. That's John.
Yes.
Mabruk Ramadan.
Okay, like birthday. You know, Brooke Ramadan. Okay.
So they just saw the video.
Okay.
And I would love to do some. I'd love to ask you all some questions
Okay.
if you feel ready. Is that good? And
Yes.
are you going to translate?
No, Hella is
Hello.
going.
This is another member, me, and
Hi.
I'm going to be taking care of the translation today.
Okay.
I just need to let you know that there's going to be 3 languages, like there's Berber and Moroccan Arabic. So we're going to handle it.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Fabulous. Thank you.
Yes.
Great. Well, is there anything that you all want to share before we get going in terms of your thoughts or your expectations? Sorry, start asking questions.
نسيت لك ستريس تيلي قبل أن نبدو نتمنى ستريس تيني قسم كان المحدث لأن شكون
المهم كذا تشكرها بزاف.
It's very glad that you do this for us, Robin. You give us you empower us. That's
Great opportunity.
yes.
حسب متمازيغ مرحبا بك.
You are also a member of our village. You are one of us. Thank you for that.
يلا.
أنت أشكر فكل واحد يشكر أتمنى أجي توصل وأنا شجاع أنا في اللغة الصورة هي طبعا.
He's also glad that what you are doing for us, and he hopes to meet you soon, and that we will do together more things that in the future. Yeah.
نتمنى أن تشكر اللقاء اللي نشكر بس هذا أنا نتمنى الخير هذا ينجح فيك إن شاء الله.
He's saying that he's hoping that this project is going to work and we're all going to share happy moments like celebrating its success.
Yes.
Inshallah.
Yeah?
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah means Latifa. Inshallah is like God may. How would you translate inshallah? God willing. God willing.
God willing.
Yeah. Yeah. Halal. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Can you hear us? Okay. Can you hear us good?
But we can't see Latifa all the time.
I think both.
Okay. Great. Well, let's just start. Would you mind telling me what your name is, how you're feeling to be doing this interview? We can go around and just say what your name is, how you're feeling to be doing this interview, how it feels, and what you had for dinner last night.
Okay. I am Latifa Oumlil. I love this interview because I love to share things with people, and I'm so glad to share it with you over there in America. And we hope that we can cooperate in the future together. And I had tagine with chicken last night.
عربية ولا شنو؟ أنا كي نتفصل كي سمير وليل.
He's Samir.
يعجبني مرة حسها مزيان تحسها قدام لأنه ثلاث اليد اللي يجلس قدام إن شاء الله على الحسين.
He feels that this thing bring good things in the future. That's what he's feeling now. So that's what he's feeling on this interview.
اللي كان نتيجة مزيد.
Yeah.
اللي كان نتيجة إن شاء الله.
Inshallah. And he feel the hope that it will be help us, the villagers, to employ ourselves in the future. What did he? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sheikh Tajin اليوم.
He had tagine also as meal last night.
ولا فطن.
Is het niet verstandig als die
Ja.
أنا جمال مسكين.
My name is Jamel.
هذا اللقاء
This interview,
بغيت نتشارك مع الناس
I want to
التجربة اللي
share
عشت.
with everybody the experience I've lived
وهذا نشارك معهم الحلول اللي
and to
لقينا
share the solution we have found
في المشروع ديالنا.
in this project.
طاجين.
And I've also had tagine last night.
Everyone had tagine.
We all had
إسماعيل رضا.
My name is Ismail Rida.
لقاء يعني نتمنى ينجح قدام يعني ندير بالنسبة لي الصورة المشروع اللي ارتبطت بين هذا الصورة ديال المشروع اللي مازال ما شافوهاش الناس بزاف.
We want to share this project with everybody else
كانوا هيك يسمعوا بها ودابا الحمد
who
لله
have been hearing about it before.
بينوا لهم الصورة ديال المشروع مزيان
But now we want to share with them and show them.
والعشاء داشت في الطاجين.
And I've also had tagine yesterday.
Well, my name is Robin. I feel really honored to be with you guys. It's a real pleasure. You are my teachers.
No. We have a few more to introduce.
Sorry, I didn't see.
No problem.
Don't turn the camera. No, they can sit. No, just stay. They can sit behind them because there is place to sit.
Yes, that's
Because
So
even they need to answer the questions.
Yeah.
So it's better if they
Sorry
are.
for the
already-
organization.
Sorry, Robin.
Hey, Sulema.
Ibtisam.
Oh, hey.
De hele wereld ziet er zo. Oh, echt? Ja, echt waar. Kom. En
Oh, you can sit behind.
Behind.
behind, okay? So.
There is a room
Behind.
there.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Ahmed. This
Oh, hey, Ahmed.
So
Maybe
You-
you take back the take a little back. Of course.
so do you have
this is how it goes in Morocco.
This is very
Also
Moroccan.
the project.
so
Yes, that's okay.
Ah, that's
no
You can see
we don't
yourself. Thank you.
almost.
No problem. We see Robin.
So
So, who's next? Ahmed, do you want to introduce yourself?
Medina.
Sure.
السويد ما تشيت ما تمنى.
احمد بوكيوف
Is Ahmed? Ahmed Boukyot?
كابتن المغربي قياد بين الصورة في مشروعين.
We wish that this interview will publish the project, tell more to the people. Yeah.
نتمنى ربنا هذا يعاود.
And he hopes also, Robin, that you help us to share it with everyone.
باش تبين الصورة المشروعين العالم كله ممكن.
Yeah, we want to show to the whole world that something that's that soil or that mountains can be reconstructed and improved. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, and he had also tagine.
My name is Abdullah Rais.
كنشكر روبين على هذا
I want to thank Robin for this interview,
وعندي حماس كبير باش
and I'm very much excited to be here.
وكنتمنى باش مرة أخرى يجي
I
لهنا.
hope next time you would come in person,
كنشكرو بزاف بزاف.
and I want to thank you very, very much.
شي طاجين.
I've had also the tagine. Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Now we are complete.
And
Ibtisam,
That's Ibtisam.
Isan, hi.
ينام
Hi, my name is Ibtisam, and I'm really glad to be part of the conference. I'm excited, and I hope that this interview will get us somewhere, and yeah, we will help each other out there in the world. And I'm from Holland, but I also ate tagine.
Great. That's great. You're related. Are you the daughter of?
Yes, I'm the little one.
Yeah, you're the little one. Oh, cool. Okay. Great. Well, so I just want to give you guys the time frame, just because we're running late. We have till 10:15 our time, and so right now it's almost 9:40. So I had a lot more questions, but I may just skip around and do the ones that I feel are really important for people to hear.
Okay. What you like, Robin?
Sure. So I just want to start. The first question is, many of us in America don't know what it's like exactly to live in your village, how the weather, extreme weather, affects your village. And I was hoping one or two of you could talk a bit about how your village of Angos has been affected by extreme weather, such as droughts or large rains or snow that comes at kind of an unusual time, or something I haven't mentioned.
المهم الجو
The
أثر
weather,
على بلاد على أنجز بزاف
the weather has affected Angles a lot,
أثروا على البلاد شحال من واحد ريبوا
and many people's houses been ruined
شحال من واحد ريبات ليه الدار
because of the rain.
شحال من واحد دارت ليه الأراضي الزراعية
A lot of people lost their lands and its productivity,
وحنا بغينا شي حل
and
باش
we want to find a solution
نحاولوا نحدوا من انجرة التربة
to cut the erosion
باش ما بقاش تأثر على الناس.
so that it wouldn't affect people again. Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, let's move to some of the solutions that you guys you just mentioned rain,
Yes.
and also that farms and houses were destroyed. And I'm curious, and you also mentioned that you have solutions you're applying. Could some of you speak about how you are dealing with the rains and the flooding
الحلول اللي عندنا
The
دابا
solution we have been working on
هو حاولنا
are
نديروا الكابيون
we're trying to set gabions
كنغرسوا الاشجار
and plant trees
باش الماء ما بقاش يجي بواحد الصوره
to
كبيره
stop the fluid from coming too fast
باش يفلتري في الارض باش
so that it would penetrate in the land, through the land. And we...
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. So I'd like to speak a bit more about the beginning of Perma Atlas. I understand that in Angos there is different leaderships. There's the mosque. There is I don't know what they're called, but the 11 guys that are the
Land users.
land users.
Yeah.
There's also government appointed people.
And Moshe, yes.
And in Perma Atlas first started, it was none of those things. And so I'm curious what it was like, I'm curious about two things. One is how at the beginning Perma Atlas was seen by these organizations. And two, what it was like for you personally to decide to join the organization
كيفاش كان لكم نتوما شخصيا باش قررتوا انكم تنضموا في هذه الجمعيه؟
and how it affected perhaps the way people saw you in the village.
كيفاش اثرت على نظره الناس عليكم في القريه؟
Robin, I think I will do the first one.
Great.
Yeah?
Yeah, can you just lean into the camera a little? Thanks.
Yes. Okay. I will do the first part because the start was very hard because lady came from Amsterdam and said, okay, guys, we are going to green the mountains and put gabions and do all the things, swales, and we are going to plant in trees. So everyone thought this lady is a little bit confused. So at the first they didn't believe in it. So that's why the young guys came to me and said, okay, Latifa, what is your plan? Because I was in the first time to the government and they didn't understand exactly. Maybe I didn't tell it well, I think also. But the guys were very interested in my idea. So we talked together and we made a plan to how we can do that, how we can talk to the mosque people, to the government, to everyone. So we went together, and after all, they said, okay, we will give you 2 hectares, and you can play there. That's the idea at the first. So go and play and don't, you will see, we will see what you are saying and want to do. So after that, I think we did something that it's very, very incredible, or I don't know, my English is not so good. They said, okay, this is really good. Really good. No, not really good, but
this is not true.
true. This is real. It's going to.
Your idea is getting real now.
It's getting real, and that's why the guys are so happy to tell the rest. So. نغاس غير نغاس الشوط نغاس هذه التبدير نقول كل شيء يشقى وكان كان ممكن نبغى أننا زيادة العباديس يخلص يخلص استخدم كراتين أو يستخدم كرات ياخذ غني جاب صح كل شيء ما يبغى Yeah, I just dealt with the effect. And the second part was, can you
I
repeat?
remember. كيفاش عملتوا الجمعيه في الاول كيفاش خلاكم تنضموا ليه كيفاش اثرت عليكم ونظره الاخرين عليكم بعد ما انضميتوا When we first heard about the association, people did not accept it at all. And we have faced a lot of difficulties to make other people believe in us. But when we started working on it as an association, we started accepting it as well. And after we've realized our goals, people start like accepting it as well.
I just want to imagine, Robin, it's the local association. Not
The locals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. Okay. I'm going to ask another question. And Latifa mentioned that you started with the 2-hectare plot.
Yes.
And I also know that you have the goal of moving next to, I believe, 60 hectares, and after that, several hundred hectares.
That's the plan, yes.
Yes. And this land, as I understand it, part of the trouble, part of the challenge is that it's shared by everybody, that people are coming and taking the wood for cooking, and people are grazing as well. And these are happening more than the plants are regrowing.
Can you please repeat the last part of it?
Yes, that wood fuel harvesting and grazing, taking away plants right now, is happening faster than plants are growing back. That's my and I'm wondering, how does a community work together? What does it take for people to, because not one person owns the land, what are you planning to do to address this challenge? How do you revegetate such a mountain?
We are united. We are united because the problem addresses a lot of people, and we all understood that if we don't unite, then we're not going to solve this problem.
And what has been your process of uniting as a village? How have you?
هنا صغاري تكون الخلق بالنبي.
كيفاش كيتعاونوا كيفاش كيتعاونوا باش كينخرطوا القريه كامله باش يتعاونوا في هذا المشكل. When we first started, we were just 10 people. But now we're around 46 or more people. What we are doing has been attracting the attention of people into practicing as well in the process of cutting off all these problems. As long as we are announcing to everybody the problems, they are as well involved in finding solutions.
We have also workshops, workshop to learn why and what's the target is of our work. So, and there are so many guys who participate, so they know more about why we want to put gabions, why we want to put trees in the mountains. And if you get them together, then they enjoy. Not enjoy, participate.
Yeah. Great. Great. I'd love to ask a question about the role of women. Yeah, I know that because of the cultural customs there, it's not normal for women to do the restoration work on the mountains. And I also know that the role of women in Perma Atlas is very important. to the mission of the project. Could you speak about how women have been involved in the project and how you think that's affected the project?
Yes. The women weren't involved at first, but then they saw the founder, Latifa, with a lot of women going upstairs to the mountain, me also, including me. And that was a role, just like a role model, and that encouraged them to be involved. And now we created a group with all the women, and we are trying to encourage them to empower their qualities, and because they are very important in the restoration of the practices. Yes, and that's it. They are now started with activities like making traditional carpets or traditional crafts, and that's what's going on right now. And we hope in the future they will collab with yes.
In the future, you hope, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last of that.
Oh, sorry.
In the future, you wish that what?
Yeah, that they will be involved with the planting.
With the planting.
Yes.
Ah, great.
I want to plant herbs, medical, and yeah.
Great. It's also, the other thing I've noticed is that the Perma Atlas Association has both men and women in the association, where, for example, the mosque, I don't believe has women, and the 11 landowners is all men. And I'm just wondering what it's been like in the community to have a association that's been both men and women. It seems like that's new, and how that's been.
Before, people wouldn't accept women as founders or presidents. However, with time, after Perma Atlas, people see us involved or practicing in the project, and they also reach us to do something as well. They want to share with us their qualities, and they're working. And they're working as well on making their own association with the head of it being a woman. Not everybody accepts women doing such things. However, people are slowly but surely doing so.
Okay. So I'm just curious. I also just wanted to ask you all about your personal experience, how being involved with this project has affected you on a personal level. How do you feel you've changed personally?
This project has changed a lot within us. At first, we thought facing the problem directly was the solution.
من بعد التجربه درتنا
But now, after the experience we've had with the project,
كنا نواجهوا
We've learned
المشكل مباشره نشوف الاسباب ديال
that
المشكل.
we need to first go to treat the reasons of the problem
إذا مشينا للمشكل اللي كان كبير ما نقدروش عليه المره اللي
because
مشينا للاسباب ديالو.
the problem can be very big. However, going to the source or the reasons
اللي كنشوف الاسباب ديالو
and cutting them off,
كنرجعوا كنلقاو مشكل صغير يعني ديك الساعه كنقدروا عليه ان
we become more able to find a solution or beat the problem.
Does anyone else want to speak from their personal experience of what?
الحاجه اللي بدات فينا
The thing that's changed within me,
هي يعني كان شي حاجه كتكون عندك قاصحه.
at first, we can see something to be very challenging, almost impossible. However, after this project, we have learned that everything is easy. And that's it. It's easy to find a solution.
انا الشيء اللي تعلمت هذا الشيء اللي تعلمت فيه في هذا المشروع هو
What changed in me in this project
وليت كان عندي ثقه بزاف.
is that I've started establishing trust towards others.
في الاول ما كنتش كنظن بلي هذيك الفكره اولا ديال
At first, I wasn't believing in this project
ندير الماء باش نفسر باش نخدموا به
and to find a solution.
الفكره ولكن مع مرور الوقت
But within time,
وليت كنثق
I've started believing
ما كاينش شي حاجه اللي هي مستحيل.
and I've learned that there is nothing impossible. Everything can find a solution for everything.
Wow. Great. I also understand that you all have toured the village of Oumlil, and that which is it's a more developed village. They have done a lot to regreen. And you have also done work reflecting on what you want the future of Angos, your village, to look like. Would you mind sharing a little bit about what you envision for your village of Angos? What is it you see in the future that you're trying to create?
Our vision is that in the future, we want to have a development, to have tourism, to have nature, and to plant many trees. And that's what we are aiming for.
I also understand that Perma Atlas, one of its roles is that it's provided job opportunities for people that would normally have to leave the village. How do you think it's affected the village of Angos to have this kind of work there?
Perma Atlas has provided job opportunities and has about the number of people immigrating or leaving for the city, and there are many people who have been to the city looking for job opportunities and got back to the village because they've heard about us and came back.
And how is it, how does it affect your homes and your families for everybody for you being there?
اولا شحال من واحد عنده
First of all, a lot of people have problems
عنده القروض
like debts,
شحال من واحد منهم
and many people have been able to pay their debts.
شحال من واحد استفدت من هذا المشروع
A lot of women has also benefited from this project.
ثاني اللي
And
المهم
there,
شحال من واحد استفد من هذا المشروع خرج من هذا قلتي خرج من واحد الخطر
a lot of people have been able to get out of their debts and their problems thanks to this project. A lot of people have been able to benefit. Shop owners, taxis, farmers, women who cook, and people who cannot work, they are unable to work. Whoever wants to participate have been welcome to participate with the project. And everybody has been able to benefit.
Great. I also understand that there's a number of challenges that you are all facing that you don't have solutions to yet. I know that you've named some of these things during your association meetings.
Can you please repeat that?
Oh yes, I know that you have. While I was at your association meeting, I remember you listing some of your more important goals.
Yes.
Would you mind sharing with the audience some of the other challenges in the village you're facing? Or would you mind sharing these challenges and describe and describe in a little detail why they are a challenge?
The challenges that has been problematic are like waste, clean water, and these are the problems that actually affect people in Angola. People who do not care about where they place their bin, and then little kids might go and play with it, and that would affect them. And water is very important, as we all know, we need to drink. But it is not filtered, which leads to health issues.
Someone in the audience asked if you separate your waste. What do you mean? Oh, what happens with your garbage right now?
Currently, the bin has been, the garbage is like thrown everywhere. We have tried to inform people that the best way to do it is to place it in one place, so that we wouldn't find it everywhere and just place it in one place. From time to time, we get workshops where we ourselves do it. Yes.
Great. I also I know that you're interested in deepening what you're doing here and also doing training in other villages and kind of moving this project out to have kind of a really huge impact. And I'm just wondering, and with awareness that we're almost, I'm wondering how, I know that we mentioned that you are looking for support in terms of the project. How can the people here in America support what you're doing?
مثلا بحال
For example,
عندنا الماء
we do have water,
ولكن ما صالحش
but
للشرب.
it is not good for drinking.
بغينا شي
We would like to
شي وحدين عندهم شي خبرة
we would
مثلا
like to
نديرو
have people with knowledge
تصفية ديال الماء باش
to
نصفيو.
help us filter the water.
مثلا شي آلة ولا شي.
For example, materials and machines, just machines to help us filter the water.
Yeah. Right. I've heard, yeah, so you're looking for people who have skills in terms of,
وبغينا شي حل.
yeah, someone here is mentioning ideas of biochar filters. And so, yeah, and then I think the other thing is, in terms of waste, some kind of mechanism, maybe like an efficient burning. Yeah. There's people with ideas here.
Please.
How do you invite people to reach out and connect? And if so, how do we do that?
Yes, most definitely. Would love to.
Cool.
Very much use their skill and knowledge.
Yeah. So if people are wanting to provide skill, knowledge, I know that you also, financial contributions, a little bit goes a long way. How do we get in contact with you? What's the best way to do that?
مثلا ما كرهناش حنا نتواصلوا معاهم مباشرة.
We would like you to come in person and visit us and see yourselves. Right there. Please. Yes.
Welcome.
So there's an open invitation. What about, someone's asking about email.
You can give the email of Perma Atlas,
Info at Perma Atlas?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll write that up here.
yeah, please.
Great. I just want to, that's all the questions I have, but I also want to invite, if people want to ask questions, you could come back here and ask a question here, because I can't. Anyone have any questions for them? Someone is asking if you're at this point going out of your village to teach other people in other villages at this point.
Going to people and reach them like in the neighboring villages is one of our goals in the future.
Someone wants to know what things you want more information about.
معلومة مثلا على أسباني مثلا
We would like information about
على الماء
water, how to clean it, how to make it good for to drink.
على
Waste.
بلاصة ديال الخشب
And instead of consuming wood, we would like to consume something else because that's how we cook.
Cooking with something other than wood. None of that over there. Yeah, there's none of that. That would be super interesting. People are throwing out ideas of ways to make your own gas for cooking. So we can send information. Any other questions? Someone brought up the point that, and it's a question, that it's one skill to know how to repair the earth, let me start all over. Someone brought up the point that it's one skill to do gabions and swales and these sort of things. And it's another skill to be able to teach people how to do these things. And like creating a workshop.
We have also workshops from Frederick Soor.
Yeah, I mentioned that before you guys came.
Okay.
But the question is, if you feel that you have the skills to do the teaching of other villagers, because that's the second, that's another skill set. Do you understand?
Yes,
For sure, Ruben.
They know how to do it. They're yelling teach. They want you to be teachers.
Oh,
Inshallah.
Anything else that anyone? There's a Ramis Kent, who's American, I think, England, and Byron, and another guy. There's Joel, and they're both doing big projects in Morocco, and they're wondering if you know of them. If you know of, and John, he's connected with it. Do you know of other projects like yours in Morocco?
We know the Atlas Foundation is busy here to do the same, but only the education to women, most of it, but not to regreen the mountains. I don't know the project here in Morocco that really goes the way that we are doing with the community to repair their own village. So I want the village to be an eco village, so the other villages will see it and do the same, and these guys can go and teach them or help them to be the same.
Well, we're out of time. Thank you so much for meeting with us. Everyone's yelling thank you. Everyone's saying shukran and thank you.
We are so grateful. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And we wish to see you all once at our project in Angles. We are waiting. And we want to have you in Morocco. You're welcome.
Great. And so they can reach you at info@perma-atlas.com.
Yes. Or Ruben, give them my call. It's
Okay.
no
Great.
secret. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Bye.
bye. Slama.
Bye-bye. Me too, Caroline.
Do you want to come back here and say hi?
Yeah.
You're having visitors now.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Anyone?
I miss all of you. I was just
Hey, John, how are you?
love you and miss you.
Thank you, me too.
You make me homesick.
Thank you. I miss you.
Hi. Good to
Thank
see you. I live in Montana where it's snowy and freezing all the time.
Okay. You're welcome. Then you will survive in Atlas.
Yeah, it's very white, very cold, like cold.
Yes. We have also, it's also called in the high Atlas.
Yeah, we have snow.
Thank you very much.
I'll send you some good ideas of people and I'll do research for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah. Thank you. Shukran. Everybody's clapping.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say bye now.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.
And I'll call you in a bit. We can.
Yes. Inshallah. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.